Hello and welcome to my channel. I hope you all doing good. Today I'll be taking you through the process of bookkeeping up till trial balance. This video is going to be helpful to you if you're currently studying accounting, or you're a business owner, a small business owner trying to navigate the world of record keeping and being compliant with HMRC. I've broken this video down into 8 steps, which is very easy to understand. So let's get into it. So before we start, it's good to understand why bookkeeping is important. It is the foundation of recording all your business activities. If the bookkeeping process are not done correctly, the rest of the financial statements will not be accurate, and it's important that your statement shows the true and fair view of your business performances. So this is where it starts. This is the foundation, and it's important that you get it right. Organizations such as HMRC requires you to keep all of these source documents right from the onset, and it's also beneficial to you because a point in time will come when you will require to provide evidence of that in order to claim some dues, for instance VAT and all that. The first step is to collect and organize your source documents. These can be your sales invoices. When you make a sale, you have to issue those invoices to your customers. It is one of your source documents. Purchase invoices issued by the suppliers. Receipts, when you go to the corner shop to buy stuff, of course they have to issue receipt to you. It is part of your evidence. Bank statements, payroll records if you have an employee, credit notes and expense claim from your employees as well. So the purpose of these documents is to ensure that there is an evidence of all your financial activity. There's an evidence of your financial activities in case if organizations such as HMRC require you to provide evidence of that. So moving on, after you've collected your source documents, the next step will be to analyze those transactions. This is where expertise comes in. You have to analyze each transaction to determine whether they are sales, purchases, expenses, and whether they have to be credited or debited. This is where professionals have to come in to ensure that your books are accurate. This analysis of transaction uses the double entry system principles that states that every debit entry must have a corresponding credit entry. So after you've analyzed each transaction and determine whether they are to be debited or to be credited, the next step is for you to record transaction in a journal. Journal cannot be overemphasized. This helps you to keep track of where each item should be recorded. Some people do skip this step, but I find it so useful because it helps you to be well organized. Okay, a journal is a book where you record an item that's occurred in the business. Okay, there it has dates, it has side for debit and credit, it has an amount and narrations. This gives you a clear view of where each item goes. In case in the future if you made a mistake or mispost something, you can easily come back to this journal to ratify and know exactly where each item were debited or credited. As you can see here, I have included an example of journal entries. For instance, if you have an office supply, for instance stationaries and all that, okay, you know here that it is a debit balance. Okay, when you make an expense, it is a debit balance, and where that money is coming from, you have to credit to show that money is decreasing, in this case our bank. So this is exactly what journal entry is. There is a debit side and there is a credit side. It's a complete journal. Every credit entry must equal debit entry. If you miss this step, you wouldn't have any clue of where an item was recorded. So that is the reason why it is very important for you to have your journal entries. So once you've completed your journal entries, the next step is for you to post your entries into the ledger book. Each item of account has its own book. For instance, the office supply has its own book called office supply account. So, and that is your ledger. So once you've identified what the item is and you've journalized it, the next step is for you to make those entries into ledger account. For instance, office supply will have its own book called office supply account, and that is the ledger. Ledger is simply a book where you record each transaction. Okay, different accounts opened within the chart of account has its own book, and collectively they are called general ledger. So office supply is a ledger account, bank account is a ledger account, and all of them coming together are found within general ledger. So within your ledger account, you have to debit, for instance, the office supply and credit the bank to show that money is going out. So once you've done crediting and debiting your ledger account, you move on to preparing your trial balance balances. So each of those accounts that you have opened, for instance, the office supply, okay, at the end of the month you have to balance it up. The total balance appears in the trial balance. Okay, so here we have to prepare our balances. Bank account has its own balances at the end of the month. Office supply has its own balance at the end of the month. So once you've concluded what your balance is at the end of the month, you move on to do what? To prepare unadjusted trial balance. It's called unadjusted trial balance because there are other things that need to be adjusted at the end of the month for it to reflect the true performance of the business transactions. For instance, we might have accrue expenses or prepayments that needs adjustment, depreciation that needs adjustment. Before all of these things are done, it does not show true and fair reflection of the business performances for that period. So once you've drafted your unadjusted trial balance, you're going to move on to making those adjustments. Here is where an accountant takes over from the bookkeeper. But if the bookkeeper is well knowledgeable, of course, they can go ahead to make these adjustments. So these are the kind of adjustments that need to be made at the end of the month in order for the financial statement to show true and fair. For instance, accrue expenses that you've benefited from, like electricity that you pay in arrears. Let's say that you pay those expenses in arrears and quarterly. So before the end of the quarter, you might not have received an invoice for such an expense, and because of the fact that you have benefited, you've used it, you have to account for that expense in that particular period, although you'll be receiving the bill in the next quarter. However, this amount was used in this particular period and it must be reflected in this particular period. So these are the kind of adjustments that need to be made, depreciation of your assets and all that. So once this adjustment has been made, you move on to now prepare your adjusted trial balance that now shows true and fair view of the business and transaction for the period. And from here, you now go ahead to prepare your financial statements. I hope I have been able to take you through the 8th process of our bookkeeping up until trial balance, even though we went beyond. If you enjoy watching this kind of video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more videos. This video was brought to you by Plaintiff's Accountancy. If you need support relating to your accounting and bookkeeping task, do let us know. We're more than happy to help you. Until next time, take care and God bless. Bye bye.